celebrating 20 years of Spinnin records, and we've asked DJs about their best memories from the past 20 years. In this episode, we've got a DJ who's been with us for a very long time. We're talking about Sander van Doorn.
My first encounter with Spinnin records was when I was still releasing for a different record company based in Eindhoven. All of a sudden, Ron van der Beuken came in. He was like, okay, why don't you put some tracks on CD, send it to me, and we'll see what happens. And for me, that was my very first encounter with Spinnin records. Spinnin records was like the pinnacle, that's where I wanted to be. For me personally, it felt like they were doing bigger tracks than I could produce at that time. So I felt like, I'm challenged to top that as well. Your big way of working with artists is you have two big A&R managers in Spinnin records. Roger is really about stimulating artists and making them feel like they can become the biggest star. And Jaar is all about really going in depth and really pulling out the best an artist can be. Combine those two together and you have a winning combination. I met up with Ilko, Roger and Jaar. I was going there for the first time. I was super nervous. And they were like mediocre, enthusiastic, and I was like, damn it. I feel like, I kind of messed it up. I was trying out different things, trying to make a few demos. One of those demos was a track, Message in a Bottle from The Police. And I said, what about this? And then they got really excited.
SOS became a huge hit in the Kickstarter for his career. After developing his own sound, Sander teamed up with Ron van Buken to create a new monster hit, Twister.
Some people were mentioning it to be like a new sound, EDM. So I was like, okay, what is EDM? Because I knew EDM before. It was like a general name for electronic dance music. And then all of a sudden it became a genre. And all of a sudden this whole boom arose. David Guetta came with a few tracks. Afrojack came on board. The guys from the Swedish House Mafia stepped in. I was like right in the middle of that era. And it was a really cool era, but it was also a really confusing era. I had a certain sound, and how did that translate to the whole big room sounds,
In order to expand his creativity, Sander sought for inspiration outside his comfort zone, leading him to even bigger hits than before.
Doorn would come to the studio like once every week, and I had this great sound, and I don't know how to finish it. And he was like, yeah. Why don't you take a completely different approach? And we did so with the riff track. For me, that was like a really, important thing for me as well as an artist, is to be open to everything that's out there. And that really opened my eyes, to be honest. I have to say, it was a struggle a few times, and you get carried away a bit by the whole boom and the whole bubble. And for me, it wasn't about becoming a DJ at all. I just wanted to produce music. In the end, I really went back to the whole, passion about, producing music, and instead of, trying to produce for the masses.
Nowadays, he still knows how to produce huge hits. He proved this with Phoenix. Project Heat. And of course, Gold Skies. Sander's not just a musical genius, but also technically very, very skilled. With countless hits and sold-out gigs, he's already achieved more than most DJs do in a lifetime.
The biggest advice I can give to the new generation as well is try to come up with something new and something different and something interesting. And that's the one thing that creates your identity as an artist. Hey guys, Sander van Doorn here, congratulating Spinnin records on 20 years of amazing music, and let's go for another 20 years, definitely. Cheers.